Hello candidates, and welcome to the lesson. The topic is mergers and acquisitions. Today we are going to highlight some of the reasons why there are failed mergers and acquisitions, because you all appreciate that mergers and acquisitions are complex undertakings and may fail to achieve the intended goals. In our previous sessions, we gave reasons why companies choose to merge, why a company may choose to acquire another one. We highlighted various reasons why companies engage in these undertakings, which are relatively complex. In today's lesson, we discuss some of the reasons why there are failed mergers and acquisitions. One of the reasons is what we call cultural misalignment. Cultural misalignment. Here we're talking about corporate culture. Different companies have varying or different corporate cultures. Different companies have different values, different working styles, which can lead to clashes between employees and management during or after merging and acquisitions. And that can hinder integration. Such differences can also hinder productivity. So one reason why mergers and acquisitions fail is due to cultural misalignment. That's why it's important when merging, when companies merge, it's important to consider the varying cultures and how these cultures can be aligned to avoid failure and acquisitions. The second reason is poor due diligence. Poor due diligence. This means failing to sufficiently investigate the target company's, for example, financial health, failing to do investigations into legal obligations, failing to analyze and appreciate operational risks, and so on. Because before engaging in such transactions like mergers and acquisitions, companies ought to conduct proper due diligence. If that does not happen, then that can result into unexpected liabilities that can cause problems, and that can ultimately hinder successful mergers and acquisitions. Poor due diligence. 3, overestimating synergies. You recall we discussed earlier on, one of the key objectives of mergers and acquisitions is to have synergies. So companies often overestimate the potential cost savings and the potential revenues that will result from a merger, which can lead to disappointment. Such expectations are not met. A company may have, say, acquire another company with the objective of cutting costs, with the objective of increasing revenues. So such synergies may be overstated, and that can cause disappointments when such expectations are not met. Do you understand? Number 4 reason why mergers fail is inadequate integration planning. Inadequate integration planning. Inadequate, insufficient integration planning. Because candidates, when companies merge, when a company is acquired, then the companies ought to, activities of the companies ought to be integrated. So there ought to be a clear and detailed integration plan that can lead to successful merging and acquisition. Because a lack of a clear and detailed integration plan can lead to confusion, it can lead to delays, and also failure to realize the intended benefits of a merger. Integration planning. Number 5 is leadership conflicts. Leadership conflicts. We've witnessed such leadership conflicts when companies merge in mergers that have happened before. Now, leadership conflicts, these are disagreements among the senior leaders, the senior management. And this is management from the merging companies. There could be conflicts in roles, conflicting responsibilities, which can create instability and undermine the success of mergers. 6 is failure to retain top talent. Failure to retain top talent. Failure during mergers, there are some top talents that may be lost. That's why it's important to retain it. Otherwise, if top talent is lost during mergers and acquisitions, then that can lead to failure. Losing key employees during the merger can disrupt operations, can damage the company's ability to achieve its goals. 7, overpaying. Overpaying. Paying too much for a target company can create a financial burden that is difficult to overcome, even if the merger is otherwise successful. If the target company is overpaid, then that can lead to failure of a merger or an acquisition. There are many reasons, candidates. We can go on and even mention reasons like lack of clear strategic rationale, lack of clear strategic rationale, lack of clear strategic rationale. What do I mean? Now, sometimes mergers and acquisitions occur because of what we call empire building or other reasons that may have a strong impact or a strong strategic basis. You understand? Mergers occur because of such reasons. Or mergers may occur due to reasons that do not have a strong strategic basis. Because a merger must have a strong strategic basis or rationale. If there is no such strong strategic clear rationale, then that can lead to failure of mergers. There has to be a solid why a merger is happening. So without a solid why, a merger is far more likely to fail. And it has to be a strategic rationale. There could also be external factors that can lead to failure. External factors. Number 9. External factors can cause failure of mergers and acquisitions, like changes in economic conditions, changes in industry trends, regulatory environment can also change, which can negatively impact the success of a merger. 10. Poor communication. Last but not least is poor communication. Lack of clear and consistent communication with employees, customers, and other stakeholders can create uncertainty and can also create anxiety that can lead to resistance, and also it can lead to mainly poor communication can lead to resistance. When employees resist, when other stakeholders resist the merger, that can lead to failure of mergers and acquisitions. Mergers and acquisitions. It can lead to failure of mergers and acquisitions. Poor communication. Poor communication can lead to failure of mergers. Lack of clear and consistent communication, why a merger is happening, why a company is being acquired, and this communication has to be made to the various stakeholders, including the employees, the suppliers, the customers, and so on. You understand? Otherwise, a merger can lead to confusion, it can lead to disruption, it can lead to resistance by the various stakeholders. So these are 10 factors, and there could be more factors, but these are just some of the factors. And when these factors are overlooked, these 10 factors, if these 10 factors are overlooked, then the likelihood of failure increases significantly. So thank you for attending the lesson. I'm going to read to you today's assignment. Reasons why there are failed mergers. 1. How does inadequate due diligence, particularly in assessing cultural compatibility and integration challenges, contribute to the failure of mergers and acquisitions? Number 2. To what extent do overvaluation of the target company and unrealistic synergy expectations lead to post-merger performance shortfalls? Number 3, what role does poor communication and change management play in the failure of mergers and acquisitions, especially in terms of employee morale and operational disruption? So these are 3 questions. Please try and answer the questions. We meet our next session. We'll continue to share knowledge in financial management. Bye-bye.